Hello there, Sarah from 17 once again, bringing you the second part to Chapter 9 in my Castlevania Night Difficulty video walkthrough. And this one is the Woes, which sounds like an Opeth song, but unfortunately isn't. It is another pretty contrived, semi-puzzle, semi-bullshit level in the universe of Castlevania. And the general premise of what you have to do on this place is there are scarecrows, and there are crows on said scarecrows, and you have to use these wheels where you rock the... I don't even know what these things are, they're like signposts, but you rock these things and the crows fly over to the scarecrows, and when they land on the scarecrows you get to fight them. Once you've killed all three of the scarecrows, the level ends. But be warned, these guys are pretty challenging to fight, because this is the only time in the game that you fight them, and this is the only chance that you get to learn them, so these aren't going to be the most elegant of fights, because I get fucked a lot. And the first thing you need to bear in mind is his moveset. He can grab you like that, which is not too bad, because it's a quick time event that you will win. When he lifts his legs up like that, and he's got the two... like fucking, I don't even know what they are, what he's using, but when his weapons are in the ground and his legs lean backwards, he's going to do a bamboo attack that comes out of the floor, and I have a really bad time at evading it, 'cause you need to jump, and I always try and dodge it, and you can't unless you jump. That attack right there can be sync blocked, and just be careful of, he does like a roly-poly move where he dashes towards you. That one is unblockable, so watch out for that. But for the most, they're not too bad. It's just, sometimes they can fuck you up and you don't even know where you are, because they're fast and they're a new enemy. So, this is where the level gets a little bit more interesting, because there's more of the stations that you have to rock, which means you need more crows to sit on certain ones, so that when you rock one, it will make them fly towards the one you want. And that is the puzzle itself. The only problem with the level is I get a little lost a bit midway through it, and there's these stupid things that drain your life, which are annoying as hell. They're completely needless, but I suppose they threw them in here so that you weren't bored, even though I do hate the fucking balls off them. So just spam your throw, clear your way. Don't focus on killing these things though, because they just take too much. They keep on coming, they take forever. They just blow. They blow so hard. They truly do. But when you come up here, I think later on there's a set of birds up here that you have to shake down, but right now they're not here. And that's why I'm coming up here, because I think they were going to be and they weren't. So what you should have done, or what I should have done, should I say, because hopefully you'll learn by my mistakes, you should have just followed this area around to the other side and found the birds. But I don't commit to it, and that's why it takes me slightly longer to get this whole thing rolling. But as soon as you do, it's not too bad. It's pretty linear, and it involves destroying some walls, so get ready if you haven't spotted them yet. But we come round here, and round here is the third of the scarecrows. But I think you've got to run to the left towards the camera to get the next bunch of birds. I'm not too sure. Is it this area? See, that's something you can pull down. And later on there will be some birds on this area, I think. I'm not too sure if it happens yet. We'll soon find out. No, you see, later on there will be a flock of crows that you'll need to use, but at this moment in time I am not hitting the right notes, so I've got to go elsewhere. And it's just a little bit of a bullshit maze, is all. It's not difficult to traverse, it's just a case of you've got to do it in a very specific order. And if you fuck the order up like I kinda have, you'll be running around for a little while before you know exactly what you're doing again. So you're going to see me doing exactly that, and that's the reason this video is 14 minutes long, so that is my bad, but I didn't want to go back and play it again because I just really didn't like it. So you'll notice I run all the way back here thinking that there might have been something I've missed or some birds that I've not knocked off and, you know, got going the right way. And I think what I've done wrong is I've not made it so that the birds fly forward and don't fly to the one I want. But right now I think I'm having trouble even seeing the fucking birds, so those little shits are draining my life, and my life is low enough. So let's see what I do. There's the birds. I should knock on those birds there, and they fly forward, but they don't fly the way you need them to, I think. I think that's what I've not done. And I'm bringing my life back purely because I think getting your life drained is cheap. It's bullshit if you ask me. But because I'm running around and it doesn't look like I'm doing the right thing, because I need to go back and shake that thing with the birds on, I'm going to talk about something else. And that's something else that I'm going to talk about is the new Modern Warfare 3 announcement trailer, which came as we were all expecting, and I'm pretty sure that when what the fuck was that? Like when E3 swings around in June, that we're probably going to get our first glimpse of gameplay, because it's June and this game's coming out in November, which is literally like 4 months after, isn't it? It's like 5 months after June, so this has got to be more than well under the way. It's got to be, you know, pretty much in the middle third of production, and they have to show something. They can't just show that fucking trailer again, because as cool as the trailer was, that was just a response to how much is leaked so far about plot points, about places that you're going to go, and all that kind of stuff. And in a response, Activision has kind of have to force the marketing scheme a little bit further than they probably wanted to, because I get this feeling that they might have announced that trailer at E3, and if they had, I'd have felt kind of robbed. I want to see fucking gameplay. I want to see the equivalent to the snow mission that they showed, and the helicopter sequence from Black Ops, because it was around the same time when they brought them out. But what we see so far from it is, thank God it's still modern. Somebody were telling me it was going to be a prequel to Call of Duty 4, and I really didn't want that, because I want updated weapons, I want updated gear, I want cool shit. And don't get me wrong, the old stuff can be good, but I'm just digging new stuff at the moment in time. Watching the trailer a few times, the environments look pretty cool. It looks like it's definitely been developed off an enhanced version of the IW4 engine, which is obviously Infinity Ward's homemade engine, which is, I think it's if you dug through the source code enough, you'd probably find remnants of either the Quake engine in there, because I think that's what they've modified it from. But just think Modern Warfare 2, but probably a lot nicer. And I think Modern Warfare 2 stands up to this day. It makes Black Ops look so fucking ugly when you go back and play it. It is a really nice looking game, so that engine, you know, just a couple of years down the line reiterated, could be a really good thing, and I'm really looking forward to that. It looks like there's going to be, it's obvious there's going to be a couple of vehicle sections. You can see that there's an AC-130 or some kind of gunship sequence in there, and that it's not completely night vision or thermal vision. It's got more details now. It's still black and white, but you can see the details of the buildings, which could be quite cool. There's obviously the boat ride, which I'm hoping's in first person, because if this game draws back into third person, I'm going to be totally pissed, because Call of Duty has never done that, and it doesn't need to do that. I don't care if you played that fucking third-person multiplayer shit. That was garbage. Fuck that shit. But there's going to be a boat section. There's obviously going to be on-rails moments in cars and stuff, because there's that whole train sequence that looks pretty cool. And right at the start of the trailer, there looks like a modified MP5 or something of that nature. I'm not too good when it comes to modern guns and future guns, but the front end of the rifle's barrel, it looked like it was like 2 bars strapped together, instead of being, you know, plastic or acrylic or something like that to give it for a 4-stock. And that looked really weird and interesting, so I'm hoping it's going to have more weapons that I've not seen before, because there's been some, you know, heavily speculated weapons lists online of alleged leaked weapons, and they look like the guns off Modern Warfare 2. And don't get me wrong, the guns on Modern Warfare 2 are cool, but the whole point of a new Call of Duty is new weapons, is new features, is new things. That is the hook, that is the draw. And we've not really seen much of that. The only real inclination of what the game looks like in first person is when that dude passes the magazine over to the guy with the M4 and he slams it in. And that looks pretty nice. It looks kind of Modern Warfare 2-y, but that's not a bad thing if you ask me. I suppose the real test of time is going to be what they change, because if they bring out a game that does the same things that Black Ops did, I don't think it's going to cut it this time. Don't get me wrong, Black Ops is a fantastic game. It also came with zombies, which is a mode all on itself, which is fantastic, and combat training, and lots of different iterations and innovations, but all they did was change the challenges, you know, add in contracts and change a couple of game modes. For everything else, it was just standard. It was what we've been playing since Call of Duty 4, just embellished slightly. So I'm really curious as to what they're going to do, and I have faith, as a lot of people are already hating, because it seems to be this Battlefield versus, you know, Call of Duty thing, and I'm not even going to start in on that because I like Battlefield and I like Call of Duty, so when I keep this mentality, I win on both fronts. So regardless of which game is better or which game sucks balls, I still get to enjoy them both. But the thing that gives me faith in Call of Duty especially is purely the fact that I think it's Bobby Kotick or whoever's the director or the PR guy. They made a statement within Activision saying that they've completely revolutionized the multiplayer. They've tried something different. They had a load of massive plans that they didn't think they'd be able to come through with, but they totally have, and it's going to change how we think of progressive multiplayer. So this could literally be what Call of Duty 4 was to Call of Duty 2 and 3. It could be that massive jump that everyone's been waiting for, that every other developer goes, oh my fucking god, how did we not think about this before? And if it is, then I can't wait for it. I can't wait at all. But it'd be so easy at this point, especially coming from the company that milked Guitar Hero to its grave, to just release an exact same thing. And I'm not going to lie, I'd still play it, I'd still probably enjoy it, because I'm that kind of guy. And that is a level missing. Look at that. Geometry disappeared. I could see through the graphics. Good on you, Mercury Stream. But it's interesting times and it's exciting times, especially if you're a Call of Duty fan. The one thing that I'm probably most curious about is what they're going to add on top of everything else, because Infinity Ward, originally in Call of Duty 4 they did the arcade mode, which was a fantastic idea that if they changed it and mixed it up and added a couple more elements to it, could be a really cool thing to return, although I kind of think it's not gonna. And then in obviously Modern Warfare 2 they did Spec Ops, which was co-op, but not co-op that people wanted, because people wanted full game 4-player co-op. Instead we got 2-player co-op scenarios that were taken directly from the game, so a little bit of a cop-out on Infinity Ward's part, but I still enjoyed it. On the flip side of this, Treyarch have outdone themselves, because the zombie mode that they do is fantastic, it's incredible, it's a completely different game if you ask me. It has the potential to have its own game if they wanted to put enough time into it, because it's got a massive following and it's genuinely fun and interesting. They also have the combat training and the theatre mode, which are two features that seem so obvious but never made it in before, and both of them I have invested a hell of a lot of time in because I enjoy everything that they bring to the table. Don't get me wrong, they were implemented poorly, I believe, because why you can't customise combat training or prestige or do half of the things that would have made people play it for a significant amount of time more than they have is beyond me, and I'm not even going to kick that subject because I stabbed it to death in many videos. But it makes me wonder what this studio that's developing Modern Warfare 3 are going to add to the mix to compete with this, because if they don't bring some kind of theatre mode in, it's going to be as if they're dismissing everything that's Treyarch's done. And credit to Treyarch, they've really established themselves, because I used to have no faith in that company whatsoever because of Call of Duty 3. The game was fucking garbage. I never played World at War, so I never had that, shining light in the darkness, so Black Ops to me was validation that they can make a quality product. But you'll also notice that everything that Treyarch kind of did, Infinity Ward kind of ignored on principle, so it makes me wonder if they're going to do that with Modern Warfare 3. And I hope they don't, but at the same time I would like something really fresh and something really new, a completely different cool idea. Like, even if they introduced a horde mode that you could customize and that had legs and maybe, level progression and stuff, that'd be fantastic. Maybe something completely fresh and new, I don't know, but I'm praying for both. I'm just praying for a fun game, because at the end of the day, the only people that suffer when a bad game comes out are the people that wanted to play it, that were looking forward to it. The companies lose money, but, fuck it, they're billion-dollar consortiums, fuck them. We're important. But that's the end of that boring level, guys. I hope you've made it through. I do apologise for getting lost a little bit, but thanks for watching and you take care.